Good day everyone. Today we will discuss about application of supply and demand. What is demand curve? It is a schedule of the willingness and capacity of a consumer to buy a commodity at a tentative process at a given point in time, other things held constant. The demand curve derived from the demand for a commodity since it only reflects the reflection between quantity demand and the price of the commodity. The demand curve shows the indirect relationship between the price of the commodity and the quantity bought in a demand curve. Let's discuss the factors affecting the demand of a commodity. First, income. A higher level of income will give him higher capacity to consume, while a lower income will give him limited purchasing power. Second, prices of other commodities. When the price of beef increases, the demand for chicken will increase, since beef and chicken may be considered as substitute goods. When the price of a bread decreases, the demand for butter may increase, since bread and butter may be considered as complementary goods. Third factor is expectation. If you believe that the price of gasoline will increase tomorrow, there is a tendency for consumers to increase their consumption today. Fourth is taste. On the celebration of New Year's Eve, it is customary for families to have round fruits at their fruit plate to attract luck. Next factor is market. An increasing population can contribute to the expansion of existing markets for various commodities. What is supply curve? The supply curve is defined as a schedule showing a direct or positive relationship between the price of commodity and the level of output that the seller is willing to supply at a given point in time, other things held constant. This direct relationship means that as the price of the commodity increases, there will be more sellers that will be induced to supply the good and vice versa. It shows the direct relationship between the price of the commodity and the quantity bought in a supply curve. Let's move to the other factors affecting the supply of a commodity. First, we have price of production inputs. If the cost of production increase at given price level, sellers will be reluctant to maintain their previous level of supply. Number 2 is taxes. An increase in sales tax, real estate tax, and other business taxes can increase the cost of the supplying a commodity. This in turn may discourage the sellers to increase their supply of the commodity in the market. Number 3 is technology. Improvements in technology used by some firms can lower their production costs and can make these firms more competitive. A lower cost may encourage these firms to supply more of the commodities since they can sell it at reduced price. Next is expectation. If there is an expectation that the price of the rice will increase next season, this may encourage farmers to plant more rice now in anticipation of the higher price in the near future. Now let's discuss about the labor migration and the overseas Filipino workers. Currently, there are millions of Filipinos working abroad. contemporarily labor migration of Filipinos can be analyzed in terms of demand for OFWs and the supply of OFWs in the international labor market. Observe this graph. As the foreign wage increases, it becomes more attractive for Filipinos to work abroad. As foreign wage rate decreases, foreign firms will demand more OFWs as they equate the wage rate with the value of the marginal productivity of workers. Study the table of market structures. Let's talk about the contemporary economic issues facing by the Filipino entrepreneur. First is investment and interest rate. If the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas foresees an inflationary pressure on the prices of goods and services, the Monetary Board of BSP may adopt a tight monetary policy by decreasing the money supply funds in circulation. Second is the rentals and the cost of business operations. We also explore the reason why the rental office space in commercial districts in Makati, Taguig, and Ortigas in Metro Manila are very expensive. Since companies spend hundreds of millions of pesos to buy or lease real estate in these locations, and disburse probably billions of pesos to construct high-rises or condominiums. Next is minimum wage. A minimum wage is an example of a floor price that prevents the market to seek its equilibrium condition because of a government policy or legislation. Lastly, the taxes. Various levels of government units impose a number of taxes. These taxes can increase the cost of business operations and can threaten the profitability of business enterprises at their initial stage of operations. That's it for application of supply and demand. Join me again in our next discussion. Bye-bye!